Members of Parliament, support staff, radio listeners, TV viewers, all following this meeting via social media, and of course, members of the media. I welcome you to this public meeting number 12 for today, Wednesday, March 12th of the year 2025. At this time, I want to give a special welcome to the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport and Telecommunication, Mrs. Grisha Heiliger-Martin, and her support staff. We have established a quorum of 8 members, and I invite you to stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. I have received notice of lateness from the members Roseburg and Doran. Does any other member of Parliament at this time have a notification? I see that MP Kotai wishes to make use of this opportunity. MP Kotai, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning to all, to the Minister, my colleagues, those in the Tribune and those tuning in online. I'd just like to take this time out to thank everyone who has showed myself and my family support in this tough period of mourning for my late father, Vinod Kotai. And an extra thank you to my colleagues for giving me the time to mourn with my family. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MP Kotai, for those words. And on behalf of the Parliament of St. Martin, I gracefully accept your words directed to your colleagues and the Parliament in general. I don't see any other member making use of this opportunity, so I continue with the agenda point for today, and that is deliberations with the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport and Telecommunication regarding the issuance and regulation of licenses for casinos and other gambling activities. This request for the meeting is registered on the IS 671 and it is dated March 5th. Before we go over to the agenda point, as this is a public meeting, allow me to remind members of Parliament of the usage of interruptions during public meetings. And the guidelines apply in accordance with Article 43 of the Rules of Order. Just briefly recapping, the chairperson may permit interruptions, and these interruptions should aim to A, seek clarification, B, challenge assertions, or C, contribute additional information. They should always consist of brief remarks or questions without introduction. We go over to the agenda point for today. As I mentioned in my earlier introduction, it was on March the 5th that the Parliament received a letter from the members Irian, Doran, and York with the request that an urgent public meeting of Parliament be convened to discuss the above-mentioned agenda point. And the presence of the Minister of TIAT was also requested. So hence today, this meeting. As usual, I would give the floor to the requesters of this meeting to elucidate their request if necessary. Is there any member who wishes to do so? I see the only one present here of the requesters, MP York, indicating that that is not the case, that he would want to give elucidation to the request. I therefore ask if the Minister of Tourism, Mrs. Grisha Heiliger-Martin, wishes to make any opening remarks on this meeting request. Minister Grisha Heiliger-Martin.
Good morning, Chair Lady. Good morning to the SG. Good morning to the members of Parliament and those listening and viewing online. Chair Lady, I'd like to thank the members of Parliament for the invitation, for the deliberation on pressing concerns regarding the gambling regulations and licenses on St. Martin, and look forward to a fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Grisha Heiliger Martin. And members of Parliament, I wish to remind you that the speaking time is 20 minutes in the first round and 10 minutes in the second round. Of course, this is a public meeting, and thus the floor will be given to those persons indicating such on the speakers list here at the desk of the Secretary of Parliament. I await I give the members of Parliament the opportunity to sign the speakers list. I await for MP Lewis, who has indicated via the speakers list his request or intention to speak, and I now give the floor to MP Lyndon Lewis. MP Lewis, you have the floor.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning to the honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, Honorable Minister and your support staff, those in the Tribune, and to the listening public of St. Martin. With regards to the topic, Minister, through you, Madam Chair, is there a sufficient number of casino workers currently on duty to carry out inspections in all casinos during the designated time period? Can you provide a list of how many casino controllers are currently employed? Does the Minister believe that the current number of casino controllers is sufficient to cover the shifts at each casino and ensure that locals are kept out? Are the casino controllers truly there to protect locals and ensure they comply with the laws regarding the number of times they can enter the casino? Is there a system or log in place for the casino controllers to track local visitation to the casinos? I understand, through you, Madam Chair, that the tables were given to the department. The tablets were given to the department. Could you clarify what exactly those tablets are being used for? Minister, through you, Madam Chair, I would also like you to explain the distinction between standalone casinos and casinos that are located in hotels. And that will be all for now, Madam Chair. I thank you.
I thank you, MP Lewis, and I continue to look to the speakers list. And awaiting some members of Parliament who are Mrs. Weeks, could I? And all members have signed in. Okay, so with the members who have just joined us signing in for the meeting, I now go over to the second person on the speakers list, and that is MP Irian. MP Irian, you have the floor. Just one moment as we make sure that mics are working. Let me adjourn for 2 minutes and see how we proceed. It's just an issue with the mic of the next speaker. Adjourn for 2 minutes. Welcome back, members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, to this public meeting of Parliament. We just had a brief adjournment to allow mic check. And with that mic check now being in order, I continue and I give the floor to MP Irian. MP Irian, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning to you. Good morning to the SG. Good morning to my members of Parliament. Good morning to the Honourable Minister of TIAT and her support staff. Through you, Madam Chair, Minister, I'm very surprised that you are here today first because we called another meeting in regards to the budget that was even more urgent than this. And I see your meeting scheduled, the meeting of Brahmi scheduled, but the actual important meeting that allows you to operate isn't scheduled. But I guess that's some internal party stuff that you guys have to deal with yourself. But in terms of budget, since I missed the notification, I still want to say that we still don't have an update on the budget. I know we're discussing today a meeting on casinos. I'll just take a minute to discuss the budget itself. It's about 2 months now that the government has not brought forward a budget. We don't have a government accord, so we can't even hold the government accountable on the things that they believe in. Because today we're having a meeting on lotteries and casinos, but maybe in your government accord or your governing program that you want to have 10 more casinos every year. I mean, that's part of your plan. So if that's part of your plan, then I wouldn't call an urgent meeting because I know that's what you're executing. That's what you want to execute. So without a governing program, we cannot hold you accountable to what you want to execute and what you want to do. In regards to the budget, I guess that probably coalition already knows, but we now know that the budget has to be resubmitted. So I'm assuming that at some point in time between today, tomorrow, at the end of this week, that this coalition, through the chair, will update the rest of us, I guess, mayor, peasant, opposition members on the status of the budget and the fact that now the whole country will be shackled for another couple of weeks because the government now has to continue to execute on 2024. You know what's surprising? The energy we had when it came to the referendum, I remember some MPs, MP Westcott, MP Rayan Peterson, MP Shamira, they were quick to jump up and say, Constitution, we know the law, follow the law. But how come when it comes to the whole budget, there's just like silence? There's silence. So all of a sudden now we don't know the Constitution anymore. We don't know the laws anymore when it comes to the budget. And you know, I continue to do a little bit of digging and researching, and I went to the archives and got some information. And to no surprise, this isn't the first time we had a situation. Because the first time that this happened was the first budget of Country St. Martin in 2011. And at that point in time, the chair herself was there. And at that time, they also tried to do the whole novel by craving. And at that time, it was also said that you cannot apply it in